going to call on Dr. Ijaz, Nabi, Dean of the School of Humanities, Social Sciences and Law, to inaugurate this launch ceremony.
Actually, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. We're expecting many more people, but since there are classes going on, I think people will come as soon as their classes are over. I'm not going to take too long myself, because I distributed the write-up of the center to everybody, and I trust everybody has read that. Basically, all universities have to have two platforms. There has to be a platform of teaching and a platform of research. LUMS is known for its teaching platform. It was not known for its research platform, and we thought that this effort would create one. It's been a year-long effort, because being a university, one cannot simply issue a memorandum and a center pops up. You have to create ownership, and it's taken us a year to actually do that. And now I think most people who need to be on board, our younger faculty, our senior faculty, they are on board, which means that we now have a legitimate platform of research. And when we in a sense, teased out the research that people were doing from the little silos in which they were doing it, it turns out that there's actually a formidable body of research that's already been done at LUMS, but the rest of the world didn't know it, because there was no platform at which that research could be disseminated. We hope very much that this will allow us opportunities to engage with a wide network of institutions which are research focused primarily, and also engage with brilliant individuals who want to be affiliated with universities such as LUMS, but not necessarily on the basis of teaching. People who do research, people who are very active in research, both policy research as well as theoretical work, but want a place, a room, access to library, writing their papers, don't necessarily want to be in a classroom setting. We hope very much that we will now be able to draw upon that very large group of Pakistanis, and hopefully once the security situation improves, others to be part of LUMS. We have this launch is going to be one of a series of launches, because we want to bring in the policymakers, we want to involve the younger politicians, we want to involve the media very much in research work, and therefore we'll be doing a series of launches after this one, which will be addressed to the world outside of just the confines of the university in Pakistan. We'll have one in Lahore, we'll have one in Karachi, we'll have one in Islamabad, in order to let the larger citizen know that LUMS now has this very effective second platform. As you will have gathered from the email, we are going to organize ourselves around 7 thematic clusters, poverty being the most important and the first of those thematic clusters. We are also, with this launching the theme of poverty. We'll take each of these themes and we'll make it an annual theme. This year it's the theme of poverty. We are starting off with we in fact started off last weekend with a law moot on the Okara farms, which was a very good way of talking about poverty in terms of how poor people deprived of assets get trapped in poverty and find it hard to get out of. We have already launched the theme of poverty with the law moot. Today we have a poster competition. We hope our judges will be able to look at those posters and give their views on what they think of them. And then throughout the rest of the year, we will have eminent speakers come and speak. We will have conferences. We will have a theater performance on the theme of poverty, just to raise awareness on this issue and bring poverty very much into the theme of discussion among university students and also in classroom teaching. So that's all I wish to say. I hope that after this launch, the 7 thematic clusters around which our faculty have chosen to list themselves, I hope very much that these thematic clusters will now take over and run with the center, because now it's up to them. We've laid the foundation, we've given it a structure, we've given it a governance structure also. Now it's up to the thematic clusters to actually run with those issues over the coming years. Of course, this platform creates opportunities for LUMS to access research funding as well. because previously, without a formal research platform, access to such research funds, whether they are in the shape of consultancy or they are in the shape of academic research, access to funding was a lot more difficult. And I hope very much that the thematic clusters will now be motivated to put themselves out in the world eyes, advertising what they do and the way in which they're going to make a difference to the way policy is made in Pakistan. And that's the ultimate concern. The ultimate concern is that we need to move towards evidence-based policy making. Evidence-based policy making without being grounded in a theoretical framework. Ad hoc policy making is not the way to go. That's not how the rest of the world makes policy. There's no reason why we should be making policy that way. So once our platform is firmly established and people get to know that there is serious evidence-based policy-oriented research being done here, we hope very much that the policy makers will look inwards for inspirations to design policy rather than outwards with the donor community when they're designing policy. So there are multiple objectives. It's really up to us to see how well those objectives succeed and are met in the coming months and the years. That's all I want to say. May I now request our Vice Chancellor, Mr. Durrani, to say a few words. I apologize on behalf of Sayyid Babar Ali. He called me a couple of hours ago. He's unfortunately not very well. So he conveyed his best wishes and said, please go on with this initiative. His best wishes are with us. Mr. Durrani.
I don't have a long speech. This is not my speech. It's the Dr. Ijaz Nabi has made this name kind of mouthful, which is very hard to remember, although I think you have tried to shorten it by calling it DPRC, but I was trying to relate, that which two, letters are missing. This social and economic part are not there in the DPRC, but we all know what DPRC now will stand for. But I certainly want to add my welcome to all of you for the launch of this center, particularly our distinguished guests today, and congratulate Dr. Ijaz Nabi for having come up with this wonderful idea. The centers of excellence like DPRC are the ones that make universities really that, the centers where new knowledge is created and where the universities begin to serve in the society and engage with the society. And theme of this particular center is really very dear to me, because I think there is a lot that a place like LUMS can do in understanding the issues of the society, and particularly those of poverty. And this provides that formal platform where faculty from different disciplines can come together in a very interdisciplinary and a comprehensive way, begin to understand the fundamentals of these problems and issues. And this is not just true for within the faculty, but the students also will have the opportunity here to really understand the real social issues, and when they graduate and go out, so that they understand what the national needs are and they can partake in those solutions. And having such platform also becomes a magnet for attracting faculty members and develop linkages outside and developing relationships with agencies that are engaging in a dialogue and debate about these issues of critical national importance. I may also say that this is very much in line with the vision of the university, that we want to be a 21st century university where research, scholarship, advancement of knowledge is at the heart of the university. And this will provide that platform where that scholarship can nurture and germinate. And equally important to us is a broader education of the students, not just in very narrow disciplines, but the disciplines of humanities, social sciences, economics, and law are becoming increasingly important, even for those students who are not taking these disciplines as their majors. For example, in sciences and engineering, to be a student of global context, where you need to understand multiple dimensions of humanity today, with complex issues which are of socio-technical nature rather than just technical or just purely social nature, we have to fold all of these under one umbrella, and this platform will certainly serve that very purpose. And one important element of our vision at LUMS is to engage with the society and to teach social responsibility to our students. And that particular element, I hope that, not only through this center, but even through our curriculum, that we will instill our students in values, and the desire to go out and learn about how real Pakistanis are living. Some of us are privileged. We never see the real side of the society, which is a fairly large number of our citizens are living with some very meager means and living in situations which perhaps are, deprives them of some basic necessities of life. And my hope is that LUMS can be that instrument, can be that trigger whereby the issues of the society are debated, discussed, policies are framed, and we can advise not only the citizens, leaders of Lahore, but also of the country about the issues that certainly confronted by our nation and our society. So I congratulate Ijaz for you and all the faculty members, and particularly what's pleasing to me is that your faculty are fully engaged in this center. And I think that's very important in getting a center like this off the ground. And you rightly mentioned that to sustain these centers, we always need resources. And this is certainly a one step towards establishing a base for knowledge, but also equally important will be that we continue to strive to look for resources to make it as robust and comprehensive as possible. So thank you again for taking the initiative, and I congratulate all of you who have taken part in this effort. Thank you.